Being small, predatory animals. Mongooses might never have become world famous if it weren't for Rudyard Kipling. The little brave fellow featured in his fairy tale had pink eyes and a restless nose, and turned into a fearless king cobra fighter in the eyes of millions. But who is Rikki Tikki Tavi in real life? Are the snake and the mongoose really irreconcilable rivals? And do the small and nimble animals always win in their fights? Let's see. The mongoose family inhabits the Iberian Peninsula and Africa. They are found in South Asia and have been brought to some regions of Europe. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the number of most species is steadily declining. However, the mongoose family still has 20 genera and 34 species. Given the variety of species, the body length of these animals can vary from 18 centimeters in common dwarf mongoose to 60 centimeters in Egyptian mongoose. Their weight rarely exceeds 3 kilograms, but larger animals have been encountered. Jackson's mongoose, for example, weighs 2 to 3 kilograms, while white-tailed mongooses' weight varies between 2.9 and 4.2 kilograms, with rare individuals weighing up to 8 kilograms. One of the smallest species is the yellow mongoose, whose weight doesn't exceed half of a kilogram. Their elongated body makes them look a little like a weasel and stands in contrast with their short but strong limbs. The paws end with slightly curved claws, capable of digging holes and getting food. The animals have a thick reddish-brown coat, or gray or silver, a long tail, a relatively short but sharp muzzle, and rounded ears. Mongooses live in pairs, or family colonies of up to 50 individuals, mainly in burrows. With a complex system of tunnels, many species have adapted to specific habitats and learned to live in trees, water, bushes, and abandoned burrows of large rodents. These animals are omnivores. They feed mainly on insects, worms, spiders, scorpions, rodents, lizards, snakes, frogs, and fish. Some species supplement their diet with fruits, nuts, berries, and seeds. Sometimes they can destroy bird nests, eating chicks and eggs. They use hard objects to break the eggs. Everyone in the colony has their own duties. Some individuals guard the territory, some stand guard during the hunt, and some take care of the kids while the others are out getting food. The gestation period is about 2 months. The females usually give birth to 2 to 5 pups once a year, but if the pups die for some reason, they can go for a second try in 1 year. Young mongooses are weaned at about 6 weeks of age. At 6 months, the males leave their mother's side, while the females stay nearby for a long time. The entire colony takes part in raising the pups, passing on knowledge. The closest relatives take on the roles of guardians and mentors. There is a myth that says that mongooses are the bravest animals in the world of fauna. It's not about courage, however, but about the organization of the hunt and the speed of the reflexes. Standing on their hind legs, these cute animals can look around, see the approaching danger, and warn the others in time. These animals have a quick reaction, a keen sense of smell, sensitive hearing, and excellent vision. These qualities help most mongooses die of natural death at about 12 years of age. The little snake hunters are well aware of the danger the snake pose, but being predators, they attack even the most venomous of them: vipers and cobras. Mongooses and cobras have the same habitat. Also, both species are among the largest of their kind, and frequent fights have helped them perfect their attacks. When a cobra comes across a mongoose, it tries to avoid confrontation, but is driven into a corner. It is forced to defend itself. The snake hunter is incredibly fast and manages to dodge the attacks of the fast cobra. The mongoose jumps at the slightest hint of the snake attack and tries to bite it in a vulnerable place behind the head. The mongoose attacks with incredible speed and hits the right spot, killing the snake. The cobra can wrap itself around the mongoose, but it won't be able to do anything. If the mongoose doesn't deliver its first blow correctly, it risks getting bitten. It doesn't have immunity to cobra venom, but it does have special acetylcholine receptors that allow it to tolerate it. Cobra venom is modified saliva that will become lethal when injected into the victim's body. Therefore, the mongoose can eat almost the entire body of its neutralized prey. Repeated bites can be fatal for a mongoose who is already losing strength, and that can make it the cobra's dinner. It's estimated that mongooses win about 75 to 80% of the fights. Mongooses and cobras are equally strong, considering they both have different characteristics that help them fight each other and win. But be that as it may, snake bites are very dangerous, and yet snakes have less of a chance of winning the fight than mongooses. It is interesting that the mongooses, the glorious snake exterminators, turned out to be completely helpless against the rattlesnake of America. The mongooses were once brought over to the United States in an attempt to fight venomous snakes. Still, it turned out that these animals, accustomed to fighting the slower snakes of their homeland, fell victim to the swift lightning bites of the rattlesnake. Experiments and terrariums have shown that the rattlesnake attack was indeed faster than that of a cobra or viper. Cowboys say that the rattlesnake bite is the quickest thing in the world. Now, let's take a look at some encounters with mongooses and snakes. For example, the small hunter managed to grab the huge enemy in a cramped tank, but the person intervened, taking the snake away at the last moment. Otherwise, it would have clearly died soon. The mongoose is great at jumping when dodging an attack. Sometimes it can end up over the snake out of its reach. The mongoose has well-established fighting tactics. Having angered this snake, it begins to exhaust it physically and psychologically. As soon as the enemy's speed decreases and it makes a mistake, the mongoose bites into the enemy's head with its sharp teeth. And that's the turning point of the fight, which almost guarantees the mongoose its victory. Courage and arrogance are the two qualities that often help the mongoose win. This animal could be called reckless if it weren't very good at judging its own strength. What could this animal want with the lions? It looks like the pups might be nearby, so the brave animal is trying to get the dangerous predators to move away from them. The mongoose starts a psychological attack, making sharp, unpleasant sounds. The lions are dumbfounded, but don't dare put the impudent animal in its place, because they know it can bite them right on the muzzle. None of the lions want to deal with the mongoose, and some of them even choose to flee. This incident happened in our time. A big cobra crawled into the people's house and hid behind the furniture. I get chills just thinking about seeing such a monster in my house. That's like facing death itself. And what if a child ends up next to the snake? But fortunately, it wasn't a human who found the snake, but a mongoose. Surprisingly, the yellow mongoose had already come by the day before, looking under the stones, searching for the cobra, and now it had finally found it. The mongoose started luring the enemy out of hiding, using its well-proven fighting tactics. The enemy looked really creepy, but not for the mongoose. At first, it decided to drive the cobra outside of the house in order to be able to attack it from all sides. The snake tried to slither away, but the mongoose stubbornly continued the pursuit and its attacks. It looks like this house is under reliable protection.